Welcome back. Let's move on to our second big focus tonight. Once again, we put the spotlight on the urban menace in Bengaluru and continue our focus of putting you, the viewers, first and picking up issues that directly impact you. On the urban debate, we've been highlighting how India's tech hub has been facing serious infrastructure issues. Potholes, bad roads, civic apathy have all become a way of life. A way of life that makes citizens and taxpayers suffer, but they seem to have no other choice but to accept it. Because no matter what is said and what is done, the urban menace just doesn't seem to be ending. First, let's take a look at this report sent by my colleague Deepak Bopanna.
It was on the 18th of August that 44-year-old Supreet was riding his bike on the Sukant road where, he lost control of his bike while riding on top of a pothole and eventually, lost his life because of that particular accident. Now, on that particular stretch of the road, what the BBMP has managed to do days after the incident is just fill it up with mud. I'm standing outside the BBMP office here in Malleshwaram, and you can see with little bit of, damage to the road, a lot of, patchwork has been done, and it has been done across this stretch of the road leading up to the BBMP office. I'm going to ask my video journalist Sunil to show you. This is the entrance to the BBMP office where regularly several officials of the BBMP, including the commissioner, makes his way here. Now, because officials make their way here, this is the quality of asphalting and maintenance that's done. The question is, when a person loses his life, when a person, gets injured, now in that particular spot, it's just mud and gravel that Bengalurians really get. Is this what the citizens really deserve? Is this why they're paying their taxes? Is the big question that really comes up.
Well, just 3 days ago, 44-year-old Supreet died after his bike hit a pothole. Yesterday, we showed you visuals of a huge crater right next to the Karnataka Assembly, the Vidhan Sabha, and those visuals on your screens right now. And right now, my colleague Deepak just spoke to you about yet another incident. We're showing you visuals on your screen of a woman who fell off the bike and was injured after skidding on a pothole that was on a flyover. The rider was injured in the incident. Now, our phone lines are also open, so call us and share your views. But let's first get you the voice of the person who recorded this shocking incident on camera.
If you could tell me, Rajesh, you were going to office, I believe, when you saw this. What exactly happened?
I saw a lady suddenly skidding from a bike and then falling down. I instantly realized there was a pothole, and then she fell down, and I immediately was able to stop my car, and I rushed to go and see what happened to the lady. And she was crying continuously, and a good Samaritan held her up and then made her to sit. And it was a minor bruises. That's why she was able to move her hands and legs. But it was a really bad fall. It could have been much worse than this. So I hope all these potholes are filled up in time so that, we don't want to see like this people falling, not because of their fault, but because of somebody else's fault, right? So that's pretty bad, See, we all take pride of living as a Bangalorean, Bangalore is a lovable city. Bangalore is a great city to live. And it gives so much opportunities for all people, for all walks of life. But the incidents like this, the poor infrastructure is creating a dent in the Bangalore's fame. People think negatively. When you think about Bangalore, it's showing about the bad infra, right? It doesn't take, a big fortune for us to fix those roads.
All right, well, our phone lines are open. Our numbers are flashing on your screens. So call us and share your views. Let me welcome my panel who's going to be joining us in just a bit. I'm Gautham, Kumar, BJP spokesperson, Nagaraju Yadav, spokesperson of the Congress, and Dhawal Ashar, Integrated Transport, WRI, is also going to be with us on the show. Let me start off here first with Mr. Yadav of the Congress, who's with us here. Mr. Yadav, your reaction, because this is an issue that has been going on for a long time, even when it was the Congress who was in power in Karnataka. Now, of course, it's still continuing. There seems to be no change, irrespective of which government is in power.
No, it need not be looked at a political angle, but the party which is in power and it's the authorities which is in power who are drawing the exchequer salaries today. They are held responsible for this thing. The authorities of the government of Karnataka and the Bangalore and the party in power, the chief minister he is also in charge of Bangalore city, and he has got no time for Bangalore city to look into these things. And the High Court has given number of directions all these years, past 3.5 years, and we have also got under RTA saying that more than 20,000 crores has been spent to repair the roads. Which are the roads repaired? I don't understand. This is completely, instead of putting it at the time of Congress, it's happening at the, that is not the issue. Today, number of people are dying today. Who is responsible for this kind of deaths? Don't you understand? Don't we understand that it is the failure of the authorities and the ruling government and the chief minister who is responsible of Bangalore city? And every week there are 3 to 5 people have been dying in Bangalore city. Still there is no awareness about this one. Still they have not taken any action on this one. Recently, when the High Court said that should the Prime Minister and the President of India should come to Bangalore to see that roads are all right. Even if the Prime Minister comes, 23 crore rupees spent on one road. Within 2 days, the road peels off. This is the hell of affairs in Karnataka state, and being the fastest growing city in the world and calling it a silicon city, we are ashamed saying that BJP is taking this city to such a level where people are questioning today all politicians for sake of the misadministration of BJP and authorities in BBMP today.
All right, let me go across to Dhawal Ashar, who's with us as well. Dhawal Ashar, your comments here, because, every time we've heard promises being made, we've heard there were deadlines, but deadlines obviously not being met. Brand new roads are developing craters as well. What in your view is wrong?
Okay, so, let me just, what is the ideal way to sort of go about this, right? Is that you need to design your road well. You need to build it to the right technical specification. You need good workmanship. Then you need regular periodic maintenance. And then you need what is called as preventive maintenance. So, I don't know whether it was built to the right technical specification, whether it was the best workmanship, I don't know. But I know one thing, that one is road distresses happen even in the best sort of environment. Like a distress can happen, but the distress need not be a pothole. Every crater or pothole that you see mostly is it's in technical term it's called an alligator or a putty crack. You'll see cracks first. Water will seep in, and then sort of over time, with vehicles moving over it, braking and all of these things, it will develop a crater. It will not become a crater immediately. It doesn't happen like that. So, think about a wound or an illness, right? The earlier you capture, detect the illness and work on it, the longer you will live, the lesser you will spend actually treating your illness. Exactly, that's how sort of what we need. So now the challenge is, how do you detect those cracks before they become craters, and how do you treat it? Now, treatment is there. It's not anything new. A lot of global cities sort of use this pavement management system, maintenance management system, where they sort of detect and treat early. I would say we have to sort of catch them early, and before they become potholes, really sort of treat them early on, and it can sort of really go on for much longer.
Okay. Mr. Gautham Kumar, your perspective here, because at the end of the day, all said and done, you are the government that's in power, and we've heard multiple promises, multiple deadlines that were set that were not met. High Court has several times, pulled up the civic body as well as the state government. But even then, we see these incidents literally every single day.
Good evening. I just want to bring to the notice that what Mr. Yadav, our senior leader, has just now told that it is a BJP CM is in charge and he is not taking rounds of the city. It is, I don't accept with that what Mr. Yadav sir has said. I just want to bring very much good facts about what works are happening. CM sir is very much interested in Bangalore works, and he's been taking rounds of the Bangalore. And for your information, the corporation has done wonderful works also. They have put an app called Fix My Street, wherein you send a photo of the potholes. The potholes are filled in 24 hours. And moreover, that traffic police is given a task wherein they put the photos with the latitude and longitude, with a GPS system. So immediately the potholes are filled, and Bangalore is the only city, first of its kind. We have our self batch mix plant with the corporation, wherein one executive engineer is deputed only to fix up the potholes. And we are on an edge wherein within a week's time, we have hired 3 more agencies to fix up the potholes all over Bangalore. And moreover, there are a couple of works happening with the different departments. BESCOM is going with the 6,000 kilometer of underground cables have been laid. And OFC cables permission are given because after the COVID, fast internet connections are required, wherein people are working from home, students are still from home. So lot of works are happening, and moreover to cover up with this infrastructural works, CM sir has released 6,000 crores under Amruta scheme, wherein it is not only BJP MLAs are there, it is also Congress MLAs who are in city who are equally responsible. As Mr. Yadav sir said, it is CM who has to take the responsibility.
Mr. Kumar, the point is that for an average Bangalorean, when they step out of their houses, there are potholes. There are people losing lives because of potholes. So it really doesn't matter what work is being done if none of it is showing any effect. But I am not going to say anything else. I want to go across to our callers who are joining us at this point in time. Anil Sood is with us on the phone line. Anil Sood, thanks for calling in. Go ahead.
Thank you, Avni, for restarting this viewer participation. I had been watching this program. All the panelists, whether it is BJP or Congress or retired IAS, they are all talking rot and rubbish. The roads all over India are the same. I have lost hope from NGT, which was the last hope. And I also lost hope from Supreme Court because NGT gave up its hands, washed off its hands when it was supposed to execute its order. On National Highway, on 225 kilometers, there are 490 encroachments. Verified, certified, and highway is full of potholes. So all these city roads as well as highways are nothing but death trap. All these politicians and babus are making money at the cost of citizens. Now I am thinking of filing another public interest litigation holding ministers also accountable. They are all shameless. They are not worried about court. Affidavits filed by them are the biggest lies on the earth. They should rather say that all the contents of the affidavit are concocted, untrue, false, fabricated, and wholly untrue. I am ashamed of my leaders, whether it is state leaders, whether it is central leaders, or whether it is bureaucracy.
All right, Mr. Sood, I completely understand your outrage there. Vishnu Ram joining us from Bengaluru. Vishnu Ram, thank you for calling in. Go ahead.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. To start with, I'd like to call myself as a proud Bangalorean.
Yes.
But very often, what happens in our office debates or in our office tea time discussions, I should say, it's more pertaining towards roads. It's roads, and the potholes. I mean, I've been working with Bangalore office for like 20 years now, and this has been the story for the 20 years. Government after government, they propose a lot of solutions, but in the day, we as common citizens and common taxpayers continue to face this menace. I only wish that there should be a permanent solution. And very importantly, ma'am, now that we have this lot of metro works going around and a lot of other infrastructure works parallelly happening, I only request there has to be a continuous coordination between a lot of these agencies.
Yes, absolutely. That is the point taken. Coordination, accountability, these are all very valid points as well. Captain Jaspal from Rohtak is with us. Captain Jaspal, go ahead.
Good evening, Avni. Very lucky to be on the show again. And I would like to place it on record that you have got a heart of gold. You are a wonderful lady. You took your criticism for 6 minutes It was an army attack. But you stood as a soldier, and you will do a lot of good to the your channel.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
coming to this problem, we will not get involved with these gentlemen. Either they have a conscience or they don't have. If they have a conscience, they are with us. Now, what is the answer to this problem is, did the Bangaloreans form a body? They go to the Chief Justice under Article 226 and they request that a minimum compensation of 5 crores is fixed. Because you are going for your job. That is right to live with dignity and honor and source of livelihood.
Yes.
And you meet your debt. So the recovery should be from the Chief Minister 5%, Minister 10%, these IAS Babus 50%, rest contract. Worst part only is that the area that is damaged, they can't even mark it. What a shame. They want us to die and them to attend the evening show. Once again, Avni, you are a wonderful person, man with golden heart.
Thank you so much, Captain Jaspal. Appreciate your comments there. I want to go across to one more caller before I go back to my panelists. Raghavan is joining us from Bengaluru. Raghavan, please go ahead.
Hello, madam. Good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
Good evening, madam. What I would like to say is that whatever the money is collected from our citizens of Bangalore, it is being poured into these holes only. That means it is never being a very constructive expense. It is always an expense which leads to corruption.
Right.
Nothing else. Whatever 40%, 60% we are hearing every day, with the remaining amount, I don't think any contractor will build a good road.
Okay, all right. Absolutely. Mr. Raghavan, thank you so much for calling us with your perspective. Vinod is also with us. Vinod, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Vinod, good to have you. Go ahead.
Thank you. This is regarding the infrastructure of Bangalore.
Yes.
It's like Rome is not built in one day. So I think Mr. Yadav should understand that the Congress party ruled Bangalore for many years. But the planning and execution of any road widening, which they planned, which they never executed, and again continuing the same format, the other political party also just behaves like feudal lords. You know, they don't understand that they represent the people. They only feel that they own the people, and they do things according to their whims and fancies. That's the problem.
All right, Vinod, thank you for calling us with your views. Mr. Gautham Kumar, you've heard a whole range of viewers, and let me tell you that we've been doing this for the last 3 days, and viewers are calling in. The phone is ringing off the hook. They're extremely outraged and extremely upset at nothing concrete being done and no changes being seen on ground. Because at the end of the day, whatever you may say with XYZ that's being done, if it doesn't reflect into change on the ground, then the whole point is lost. But what would you like to say to all of these viewers right now?
I just want to give one assurance through this TV that our CM is working day and night regarding with this. It is not only the potholes, it is the sewage, water drains, everything. Because rains are so heavy that generally the videos, whichever we are seeing in the TV is all waterlogged. So obviously there will be potholes. I don't deny that there are no potholes. There are potholes as per our report also. There were around 4,500 potholes, wherein 3,900 potholes have been filled. With the inspection of our CM and our ministers in Bangalore, we have covered almost 3,900 potholes, and especially now we have called on a higher basis. We have taken 3 batch max plants for the BBMP, wherein we are trying to cover each and every pothole, whatever we are getting on a Fix My Street app. In 24 hours, we are taking it as a challenge, and we are attending to the potholes. And moreover, 6,000 crores is been released by the CM under the Amrut scheme for all the MLAs, including Congress MLAs. I want to bring it to the notice of the video also. that each and every constituency, each and every road, wherein 13,000 kilometers of road in Bangalore are being developed, and it is a clear assurance from our CM and our government that we will do it and we'll attend to it.
All right, Dhawal Ashar, do you think that this is enough to sort of fix the situation? Because at the end of the day, whatever incidents we've seen so far, there has been no accountability that has been put. There are, nobody is, there are no arrests in any case. Nothing concrete has been done to fix accountability. And obviously that is the main point here, because you can have all these apps, you can have all these ideas and all this money, but if accountability is not fixed when something goes wrong, it'll keep going wrong.
I just want to bring one notice, sir. See, Bangalore is the fastest growing IT city in Asia. The population here is 1 crore 30 lakhs and 20 lakhs floating population. And the kind of development, all over development is happening. It is not only the corporation roads, metro is happening, BWSSB works are happening because 110 villages are added. So sewage and water line connections.
Fair enough, Mr. Kumar. I am not disputing that. I am saying that for a person, for a family which is shattered, for a family where somebody has died, all this development work is going to make zero difference to them. And that is really the point here. Yes, Mr. Ashar, please go ahead.
So, first of all, you can fill the potholes. I mean, that's pretty much what we are left to do, right? If there is a crater or a pothole, what we need to do is try and fill it as fast as possible and hope that there is no untoward incident that happens due to it before it's filled. Now, here's the thing. The moment you fill it, that doesn't mean that it's going to be filled it's going to stay like that forever. It's going to become a pothole again. It will perhaps even become bigger. And that's nobody's fault. That's just how things are, right? Pothole is also a type of distress. So it's a band-aid, and band-aid wears off, right? Which means that if a road is full of potholes, then very soon it will be taken up for construction at some point. Now, let's come to the accountability part. Now, I'll just give you a slightly different take here. Again, going back to that point, we need to take this as a management problem. If there is a management system that sort of, detects it early on, etc. Basically, we build a system that can track all of these things. So a transparent system will automatically sort of put pressure on accountability. Next time, take any road in Bengaluru and we'll be like, okay, this stretch of the road, 500 potholes occurred and they were filled 4 times in a month, in a duration of 3 months. Now, if we build a system that is able to record this kind of data, we automatically make that system transparent, right? The media will start reporting it more often, speak on sort of more focused data. The people will sort of start maybe RTIs or whatever and get more data and then hold the system sort of accountable against that data. So, I think we really sort of need to build a proper system. And this is nothing new, right? It's all big cities across the world have it.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the point, because this is not limited to Bengaluru. This is across cities that we are seeing these kind of issues happening. Unfortunately, there have been a series of incidents that have come to light from Bengaluru, which is why, we're forced to take this up again and again. But Nagaraju Yadav, if you want to come in, please go ahead.
Yeah, see, Mr. Gautham and other people are talking about it. Definitely, I'm telling you, as a citizen of Karnataka and Bangalore, we are definitely concerned about it. Congress party is definitely having concern over the Bangalore city's growth. As everybody said that the Bangalore is the fastest growing city in the world and it's been a Silicon City. And this has been Silicon City is only because when S.M. Krishna was in rule, and we are the people who created that name, and we created a Bangalore in that kind of a fashion, and futuristic thinking was there. But today there is no accountability, no transparency. There is corporation contractors, like I say, complaining about 40% commission allegations, and second place is the bankruptcy is there in the BBMC administration, and there is no coordination between Metro, BBMP or BWSSB or BESCOM. There is nothing going on unitedly to see that the work is done in favor of the public. Ultimately, the citizens are paying the price by giving their life by falling into the potholes and accidents. This is not acceptable. Let us be beyond political lines. Congress doesn't accept this. Whenever BJP is in power, we are finding these issues, and they also went to the extent of paying salaries to the staff by mortgaging their buildings. Today I've seen even the BMTC main head office being mortgaged to pay their salaries. If this is the condition of Bangalore city, how the Bangalore expect Bangalore cities to be given a proper quality of roads? When we started white tapping roads, these people objected, and today they're given for a double cost of the same white tapping roads. What is going on in Bangalore city? People are watching today, and they are also waiting for a public representative to represent them.
All your points are extremely valid, Mr. Yadav. I wish you had shown this kind of outrage even when the Congress was in power in Karnataka. But I want to go back to my callers who are still with us. Suresh from Bengaluru is on the phone line. Suresh, thanks for calling in. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Suresh, please go ahead. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Good evening. You are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Bringing the citizens in the forefront to express their views. Very important is number one, number two, number three issue is corruption.
Yes.
I am just so sickened to hear about corruption. Everywhere corruption. Whether it's a Congress party or BJP or any other party, it's corruption. We got to stop that. If we stop that, I'm absolutely sure that we will be able to give good quality work. Because if we cannot give good quality work, this will never end. This will keep on going on and on and on. So the key word is corruption. Stop corruption.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree with you there, Suresh. Thank you so much for calling in. Sai Prasad Rao, also from Bengaluru, on the phone line. Thank you for calling in. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Sai Prasad, and I have been in Bangalore for the last more than 30 years now.
Yes.
Whichever is the government, it just doesn't matter. Down the line, like yesterday and day before, I have been watching your debates every day. We are mentioning that there may possibly be people in the civil area who don't know about the road construction. I'm sorry. They all know very well. Unfortunately, they do not have the power to catch a person or contractor who has done this. Because the contractor is very clear. He says, I have paid so much. Why are you catching me? You please pay me the balance. That is basically the problem. The person earlier to me also talked about this.
Yes.
He said corruption. This is the bane of our society. According to me, not just Bangalore. Any major city you take, this is the basic problem.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Sai Prasad. Thank you so much for calling us with your views. Noor Ali also joining us. He's from Kalyan. Noor Ali, go ahead, please.
I'm from Kalyan Nagar, Bangalore.
Yes.
Good evening. Yeah, I just drove down this afternoon from Kalyan Nagar to Hennur to the new airport road. It's in a miserable condition. And I think, there are so many potholes, and a new driver can definitely get killed on that road because he won't know, and the traffic and the people who ride without discipline. They just jut in, they stop on the way. And I think even the development, the builders, if you just go driving from here, from Kalyan, on the new Hennur road, there is so much of development, and the builders have not cleaned the roads outside. There is so much of dump, and the nalas are running. So who's to blame for this civic indiscipline?
Yes, absolutely, Noor. So many questions that are unanswered when it comes to these kind of issues. Colonel Ayyappa is with us as well. Colonel, thank you for calling in. Go ahead. What would you like to say?
Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
See, this is very, very simple. This is not a rocket science, building a road.
Yes.
If you write a proper tender and take a warranty from the contractor, whoever is executing the work, and there's a proper supervision, things will fall in places. Now, the thing is, there is no accountability on the part of engineers and other staff. And people who want to develop a software to find out about the potholes and things like that. It is apathy, I would say. See, don't we have these officers in charge to find out which is on his road, how many pots are there, which are the points to be covered?
Yes.
For that, they want to develop a software, and through software, the citizen will report to them. What are these people doing?
Yes, absolutely. So your main point is accountability. Absolutely. So many of your viewers have spoken out about accountability. Krishna Mohan is also with us. Krishna Mohan, go ahead.
I just want to know, because you play a tar road today, within 2 days we can see it being dug. When we ask what is the fun in doing a tar road, there is no answer. And they don't put a display also. There is no meaning in investing so much amount of money, like 600 crores. Within no time, the road is being dug and we can say big potholes. What's the fun?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Completely understand your point there. Hemchandra also with us from Bengaluru. Hemchandra, go ahead.
Ma'am, this is Hemchandra from Bangalore.
Yes.
I quite often I travel on the old airport road from Marthalli to MG Road, and also from Marthalli on the outer ring road to Sabas. I know mentally, I have a map mentally made. I know exactly which pothole is going to come next. If as a commute, I don't commute every day, but if this is the case, how is it the engineers and the people who are there, they don't know about these potholes. And the BJP spokesman says that 3,900 some potholes have been attended to. It's all rubbish.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for joining us with your views. With that, I'm afraid we're completely out of time. I'd really like to thank my panelists for joining in. And the idea, viewers, of this kind of a show was to try and ensure that the viewer's voice gets heard, because that often gets lost. And in this kind of a situation where in a city like Bengaluru, this issue is cropping up time and time again, it is very important that the viewers, that your voice gets heard. And that is what the attempt was, to do this. And for our panelists, especially for the BJP spokesperson, I can only hope that you've heard out what they have to say, taken note of what the issues are, what the problems are, and that this does result in something concrete, because at the end of the day, that is the only aim for doing something like this. Thank you all so much for watching.